Hey there! Welcome back to Cities in a Blink, where we uncover the stories behind the world's cities, one blink at a time. This is How Did That City Become the Capital? Our journey through the political hearts of nations. Today, we're exploring Europe's tiny and small state capitals: Andorra la Vella, Vaduz, Valletta, Monaco, San Marino, Vatican City, and Skopje. Let's start high in the Pyrenees. Andorra la Vella became the capital of Andorra because it sits at the heart of a mountain microstate built around valleys, passes, and survival between larger neighbors. Andorra was never going to have a giant imperial capital. It needed a practical center, a place where mountain communities, trade routes, and political life could gather. That place became Andorra la Vella. It is small, but its role is big. It represents a country that survived by balance between France and Spain, between mountains and markets, between independence and geography. Now to Vaduz. Vaduz is the capital of Liechtenstein, but it does not feel like a massive seat of power. That is exactly the point. Liechtenstein is a tiny principality tucked between Switzerland and Austria. Its capital grew around the princely seat, with Vaduz Castle looking down from the hillside. Here, capital status is not about scale. It is about dynasty, continuity, and identity. Vaduz became the political center because it carried the symbols of the state: the prince, the castle, the government, and the national story. It is a capital that feels less like a metropolis and more like a signature. Then comes Valletta. Valletta is tiny, but it was built with enormous purpose. After the Great Siege of Malta in the 16th century, the Knights of St. John needed a capital that could defend the island and project strength across the Mediterranean, so they built Valletta as a fortress city. Straight streets, massive walls, harbors on both sides. This was not a capital that grew accidentally, it was designed. Valletta became Malta's capital because it was a shield, a command center, and a statement. Small in size, strategic in every direction. Monaco is different again. In Monaco, the capital story almost disappears into the country itself. Monaco is a city-state, and its capital is often understood through Monacoville, the old fortified town on the Rock of Monaco. This is where the princely palace stands. This is where the oldest political identity of the country is concentrated. But Monaco is so compact that capital and country feel almost inseparable. The story here is not about choosing one city over another. It is about a tiny sovereign state growing around a ruling house, a coastline, and a very limited piece of land. Monaco's capital is not powerful because it is large. It is powerful because the whole state is compressed into one dramatic urban space. San Marino gives us another version of that idea. The capital city of San Marino sits high on Mount Titano. That height matters. For one of the world's oldest republics, the capital was not just a place of government. It was a refuge, a defensive perch, a symbol of independence. San Marino survived for centuries, surrounded by larger powers, and its capital reflects that survival. It looks outward from the mountain, but also inward toward its own small republic. Here, elevation becomes identity. The capital is not just where the government sits. It is where the republic's independence is made visible. Then there is Vatican City. The smallest sovereign state in the world has one of the most unusual capital stories anywhere. Vatican City is not a normal capital inside a normal country. It is a sovereign city-state created around the seat of the Pope and the institutions of the Catholic Church. Its political identity is inseparable from St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican Palace, and the Holy See. There is no long list of rival cities, no capital competition, no national geography to organize. The state itself exists because this small space became the center of religious and diplomatic authority. Vatican City shows the most extreme version of a tiny capital, a country where the capital is essentially the country. And finally, Skopje. Skopje is the outlier in this episode. It is not a microstate capital like Vaduz or Vatican City, but it belongs here because it shows how a smaller European country can place enormous national meaning into one city. Skopje became the capital of North Macedonia because it had already become the republic's main political and administrative center during the Yugoslav period. It also sits in a strategic valley along the Vardar River, linking routes through the Balkans. But Skopje's story is also about rebuilding. After the devastating earthquake of 1963, the city was reconstructed with a bold, modern vision. Later, after North Macedonia became independent in 1991, Skopje remained the capital of the new state. So Skopje is not tiny in the same way as Monaco or San Marino, but it is the capital of a small country where identity, politics, and reconstruction all meet in one place. That is what connects these 7 capitals. They prove that capital cities do not need to be huge to matter. Andorra la Vella reflects mountain survival, Vaduz reflects princely continuity, Valletta reflects fortress strategy, Monaco reflects compressed sovereignty. San Marino reflects Republican independence. Vatican City reflects spiritual and diplomatic authority, and Skopje reflects statehood, reconstruction, and identity in the modern Balkans. These capitals are small on the map, but their stories are not small at all. They show that power can live in a valley, on a mountain, inside fortress walls, beside a palace, or within a few city blocks. And with that, we close our journey through Europe's capitals. If you love discovering cities and the stories behind them, hit that subscribe button and join us for more adventures. Next up, we're moving from Europe toward Asia, beginning with Istanbul, Turkey, the city where Europe and Asia face each other. Thanks for watching Cities in a Blink, where stories of cities come alive, one blink at a time.